This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Halifax wildfire. Officials say the cause of the Susie's Lake wildfire is human action as firefighters work to get it under control. Sidewalk patio rules. Mahone Bay introduces new accessibility guidelines following the fall of a senior who later died. And back to school. A community group in Cape Breton fills out thousands of backpacks for kids in need.
Morning mist, morning drizzle, very beneficial today. Heat warnings also starting to drop off, and relief from the heat and some rain coming in the form of a cold front. I'll track all of those details. Your full forecast is just ahead.
Good evening. The Susie's Lake wildfire in Halifax remains out of control. Firefighters and aircraft continue to battle the blaze, which is now 15 hectares in size. And officials confirmed today the fire was caused by human activity. Josh Hoffman has the latest.
The Susie's Lake wildfire burning next to Halifax's business park was caused by someone having an open fire, according to provincial officials. However, there was no one in the area when fire crews responded to the scene on Tuesday.
Use your head. Don't be around the woods. Don't be respect the law.
Premier Tim Houston and the Department of Natural Resources' Scott Tingley provided an update on the fire Wednesday afternoon. They said DNR crews have responded to 17 fires across the province in the last 24 hours alone. None as significant as Susie's Lake, which Tingley says crews are making progress on, and commercial properties look to be safe for now.
No immediate risks, but yeah, the crews want to get a little more confidence in just getting some more water and some more hose lining controls around basically the east and west flanks of that fire.
Businesses in Bears Lake closest to the fire were told to evacuate on Wednesday morning. Many on the other side of the road were allowed to stay open, and some are doing what they can to help fire crews.
We have a unique opportunity to prepare meals for the first responders. So we're really happy to be able to turn an unfavorable event into something positive.
While many people want to get a look at the fire and the efforts to fight it, officials are asking everyone to stay out of the area if they don't need to be there. And that includes the use of drones. The group Halifax Professional Firefighters said on social media on Tuesday night that a drone did temporarily pause firefighting operations due to the safety risk to the planes and helicopters being used as part of their response.
I'm sure it would be really exciting and interesting to get some great content of a fire. But if there's a fire in the area, get your drones out of there.
Some people didn't need drones to get a front row seat to some of the action on Tuesday. Many residents in the community of Timberley got a stunning view of water bombers from New Brunswick helping battle the blaze.
Then they came in right out of nowhere and started scooping. Most amazing thing you've ever seen. We were laughing because commercial planes couldn't land as softly as those guys were landing in the water as they were filling up. The whole community was here. We were all standing along the water all the way up and down the lake and just watching. Those guys are heroes, man. They did a really good job out there.
Josh Hoffman, CBC News, Halifax.
Two small wildfires are also burning near Lake Paul in Kings County. One is estimated at 0.9 hectares, that is under control. The other is 1.9 hectares and is out of control. Local and DNR firefighters are on the scene along with 2 DNR helicopters. The Halifax Regional Municipality is making drinking water available and free to residents with dry wells. From now until mid-September, residents can collect 4 liters per person per day and up to 1 week's supply per household at a time. Shower facilities are also being made available for people in several locations. HRM says dry conditions have led to lower than normal water levels. With a lot of anxiety around Nova Scotia's dry summer, it's hard not to wonder what's to blame for this drought that's affecting people and ecosystems across the province. If you've wondered about the link to climate change, well, the CBC's Taryn Grant did as well.
The lack of rainfall in Nova Scotia has thrown the province into a drought. Can we pin it on climate change? Dry conditions have been building all year. Since January, the province has had about 60% of normal precipitation levels, and drought conditions have become especially bad this summer. In July, large portions of the province had less than 40% of normal monthly precipitation. It's abnormal, it's having widespread impacts on people, businesses, and ecosystems, and there is no clear end in sight. So can we draw a straight line between climate change and this drought?
Those are difficult correlations to make. However, all of the climate change models are coinciding around, when you look at the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, UN research, new research that's coming out of the journal Nature, which is one of the most prestigious journals, publishing research on drought and its connection to climate change. Globally, we're expecting this.
It's hard to draw a straight line, but it can be done. In weather attribution studies, scientists use data from extreme weather events. Droughts, floods, wildfires, the list goes on. And they analyze the data through different climate models to try to determine the degree to which climate change influenced the event. No one has published an attribution study for this drought, at least not yet.
And it's really difficult to do it in real time, if I can put it that way. There's statistical analyses that scientists perform and meteorologists perform to look at these sorts of events and try to attribute what's occurring that's statistically significant. So oftentimes we use anecdotal information and try to relate that to say, yes, this looks like it's probably due to this.
What meteorologists can say now is the drought is the result of a stubborn ridge of high pressure that's sitting on top of eastern and Atlantic Canada. The system is effectively blocking precipitation, swatting it away to the north and south of us. And this type of system is becoming more common in our changing climate.
What our models suggest is that because of climate change, we're going to see more high amplitude weather, if you want to put it that way. So more storms, but also more really significant high pressure areas that really put these blocking patterns into context.
The drought has turned parts of the province into a tinderbox, leading the provincial government to introduce some pretty drastic restrictions on outdoor activity. It's going to take a lot of precipitation for conditions to change. But Nova Scotians need to be careful about what they wish for.
I'm actually worried about what it's going to do when it's going to rain, because the ground is so dry, it's so hard. Fields as well, crops aren't used to being dry for this long of time. And then when it does rain, if it comes in a downpour, the soil's not going to be able to handle that rain.
So now we also have to worry about flooding and erosion. Now may be the time to think about climate adaptation. Rather than stewing in worries about extreme weather, take steps to be prepared.
So for example, in my own space, we let the grass grow higher, because then there's more shade on the soil will not dry out so much. So our lawn is not that high, but it's that high.
Bottom line, if you want to blame this drought squarely on climate change, you'll have to wait for it to be over, and for scientists to study it in retrospect. In the meantime, there's more you can do than just hope for the skies to open up. Learn about extreme weather preparedness and take steps to adapt. Taryn Grant, CBC News, Halifax.
Jay Scotland back with us again tonight. Jay, it's not too often that people get so excited about a little bit of drizzle, but that was certainly the case in Nova Scotia this morning.
Yeah, and when we talk about the Susie's Lake wildfire situation there, I mean, it's not precipitation, it's not rain, much smaller in terms of those droplets when we talk about drizzle, more in the way of fog, mist, drizzle, but that increased relative humidity, that bit of dampness this morning, a huge help, I'm sure, to firefighting efforts there. Not great for visibility for the water bombers, but beneficial in terms of the dry conditions that have really allowed the elevated fire risk to persist, not just in the Susie's Lake area, but across the province. We can see temperatures were still very warm for many areas today, a little bit cooler with some low clouds, some mist and some fog into the Halifax area along the Atlantic coast as well. We will see relief coming in the form of a cold front. That will be very late in the day tomorrow with a chance for actual rain, possibly some heavier downpours with thunderstorms for parts of the province. And once we get through your Thursday, cooler temperatures for the weekend will also be a big help, Tom.
All right, lots to talk about a little bit later. Thanks, Jay. The Halifax Stanfield International Airport Authority say they are closely monitoring negotiations between Air Canada and CUPE. The airline said today it will start cancelling flights ahead of a potential strike that could see more than 10,000 flight attendants walk off the job. This comes after the union gave the carrier a requisite 72-hour strike notice when the two sides reached an impasse in negotiations. About 130,000 customers a day could be affected by disruption. Halifax's Airport Authority is encouraging passengers booked with Air Canada to check the airline's website. The town of Mahone Bay is taking steps to make sidewalk patios more accessible after a controversy around the structures following the fall of a well-known senior. As Gareth Hampshire tells us, any new sidewalk patio applications will now have to meet new accessibility guidelines.
Mahone Bay Town Council is adopting Nova Scotia's accessibility standards early for sidewalk patio applications after what happened outside this restaurant. 100-year-old Barbara Minard sustained hand injuries after falling and died several days later. No official connection was established that caused her death, but since then her family and others in the community have argued there are problems with the structure.
We've heard many issues, and even before the accident, people were worried about accessibility way back then.
The new guidelines do not apply to the restaurant Eli and Trix. Its patio was already approved, and the mayor says it remains in compliance and is not required to make further changes. But the town is asking the restaurant to align with the new standards, which would include widening the wooden walkway.
It's challenging for businesses, to make these adjustments as well. So trying to find a balance.
People against the structure continue to call for the walkway to be removed. They unfolded a several meters-long petition at a council meeting.
This was merely safety. It was because Barbara wanted the sidewalk for the people.
Those who use mobility scooters say the walkway is difficult to navigate.
Oh, I think it somehow slipped through and hasn't had proper analysis of what the implications of it are.
Restaurant owner Danielle King says Barbara Minard fell on the sidewalk, not the patio walkway, which she says was constructed with full oversight from the town.
Since the structure has been in place, I've gone out of my way to make numerous adjustments.
King is not impressed. She's being asked to consider new standards she does not plan to meet.
The patio took 3 months to build. It would require at least 3 or 4 days to take it apart, and to rebuild it again would certainly take another couple of weeks. And, I'm $10,000, $12,000 into this patio for what is a very short season already.
The mayor says the process will be different next year, and council could even decide there are certain streets that do not have the width for sidewalk patios. Gareth Hampshire, CBC News, Mahone Bay.
25,000 new names have been registered on the wait list for a primary care provider since January. The interim CEO of Nova Scotia Health, Karen Oldfield, revealed that speaking at the legislature yesterday. She says despite that overall number, it has been cut in half since last year.
I think the biggest thing that has contributed to the success is actually putting the infrastructure in place. So recruiting the requisite number of physicians and nurse practitioners and other providers that work in a team basis.
Is that they don't know the full picture because not everyone is registered on the list. The school year is just a couple of weeks away, and Townhouse in Glace Bay is once again helping families in need. Today, they packed more than 2,000 backpacks with school supplies. Kyle Moore reports.
An army of volunteers gathered at Townhouse in Glace Bay, everyone coming together to help families in need with the school year just around the corner.
There's so much help. Isn't this incredible?
Townhouse in Glace Bay gives out free backpacks and school supplies to students in need. This year, they are kicking it up a notch. For their 25th anniversary, they are filling more than 2,000 backpacks.
I've had moms coming in and crying and thanking us because, they would have had to choose between getting school supplies and getting gas in the car, that sort of thing. And so it really does make an impact.
I grew up on the East Coast. I'm from Newfoundland. I spent a lot of time in Cape Breton. So I understand some of the economic challenges that are here.
Vaden Earl is the Domestic Programs Director for Humanity International. They run a program called Beyond Backpacks in the Toronto area and wanted to help nonprofit groups on the island by buying and supplying most of what's here today.
Kids everywhere need help, and sometimes kids on the fringes are the ones that just don't get this amount of resources that we get in the bigger cities.
When you think there's probably maybe 7,000 total students in all of CBRM, 2,000 backpacks puts a big dent in that population.
Children and families from Glace Bay, Reserve Mines, New Waterford and surrounding areas will benefit from the backpack program.
We send out, through the Board of Education, we've sent out notices to all the parents in our catchment that this is available to them. All they have to do is reply, and they're automatically eligible.
An initiative the volunteer groups hope to continue next year. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Glace Bay.
Stay out of the woods, head to the coastline, they say. Not bad there, a view like that. Jay Scotland back with your full weather forecast right after this.
This weather update is brought to you by Access Wellness Nova Scotia. Book your appointment today for free, confidential mental wellness support.
Jay Scotland in the Weather Centre tonight. Jay, it's so good to hear you say there's a little bit of relief in the near future for us here.
Yeah, and the precipitation, unfortunately, that is coming. Afternoon for some areas, evenings for others, likely later in the day for the Halifax area with the Susie's Lake wildfire. It's not going to be a lot of rain for everybody. Where we see thunderstorms develop, this is where you could see 15, 20, 30 plus millimeters fall in a short amount of time. Other areas, 5 to 10, possibly even less. But I think the little bit of rain will be welcome, Tom. The bigger impact from this cold front, once we get through some robust wind tomorrow and into Friday, will be the cooler temperatures with more of a northerly, cooler wind setting us up for a lot less heat and a lot less humidity heading into the weekend. Could pick up a bit more rain Sunday night into Monday as well. Already starting to see, just with that morning fog and drizzle, a little bit of shower activity working along parts of the Atlantic coast today as well. Bit of energy offshore has seen some of those heat warnings drop off for the Halifax area, along the Atlantic coast, also for the South Shore region as well. I expect these heat warnings to continue to end today, some of them persisting into tomorrow as well. We'll still be a little on the muggy side tomorrow. Halifax area 26, 27, going to feel over 30. Could be seeing temperatures even warmer, humidex values mid-30s further north, but the cold front is coming. There's a look at our daytime highs today. We are looking at a fairly robust wind that will be setting up tonight into tomorrow. So initially ahead of that cold front, 20 to 30, 40 kilometer per hour from sustained to gusts, south to southwest wind. That will be problematic, but it is what we see ahead of a cold front, and the cold front will be beneficial. Not as beneficial or as meaningful in terms of the precipitation. I'd like to see a good couple of days of steady soaking rain, but we are looking at least some rain followed by cooler temperatures, which will help. Already seeing a few thunderstorms just bubbling up with that humid air in place as we look at towards the Kedgie Park area, up towards Kentville. There is that chance through the evening hours of a few isolated thunderstorms. Again, it's not a widespread chance for rain. Beneficial where you see it, though, although the lightning we could do without. But as that cold front approaches, I wish the wind wouldn't be quite as strong ahead of it, but I do like what it does with our temperatures in the near term once we get through tomorrow. So as we look to your Thursday morning, already seeing some cloud cover, some fog, possibly more mist and drizzle developing into the morning hours, increased relative humidity. All of this is beneficial. Damper conditions, a very welcome thing. Just considering the extreme lack of rain we've seen over the last couple of months across Nova Scotia, the Maritimes, and Atlantic Canada, to be honest. As we look to your Thursday evening, we have that cold front already bearing down through the valley. You can see it starting to push along the Northumberland shore as well. Some thunderstorms working across PEI into Cape Breton late in the day. And it will likely not be until the evening hours we see showers into the Halifax area. It's not as likely we'll see thunderstorms that late in the day, but we will at least pick up a few millimeters of rain. And then once the cold front moves through into Friday morning, things clear out after some morning fog to a mainly sunny afternoon. High pressure moves back in. The dry conditions, I would prefer the rain to stick around, but the wind will be coming in from a northerly direction. That's going to drop those temperatures. Dry conditions and heat, very bad combination. Cooler temperatures at least helping in that sense. So through the overnight hours tonight, again, it's not rain, but there is a chance for some fog and some drizzle to set up. We'll take what we can get right now. It would be nice to see some steadier showers, and you will see that for more eastern areas this evening and overnight for parts of Cape Breton. And then as we look to tomorrow, there's that thunderstorm risk for more northern areas, Kentville, Truro, up into the New Glasgow area, and this is because temperatures will be hotter there as that cold front moves in. Likely just a mostly cloudy afternoon for Halifax. Get into the evening hours, the clouds further increase, and we'll at least see some showers building through, followed by those cooler temperatures. Now, it's not going to be cool, just cooler than it has been, 24, 25 degrees on Friday. We'll see a temperature into the mid-20s on Saturday, and then as we get into next week, that's where we'll start to see some very cool temperatures, barely cracking 20 degrees Monday and Tuesday, and Sunday night into early Monday, we could hopefully pick up a few more raindrops as well. Tom?
All right, that's sounding better for sure. Okay, thanks very much, Jay. And we'll be right back after this. He's funny because he doesn't The Premier and an official from the Department of Natural Resources gave an update earlier today on the wildfires burning in this province, including the one at Susie's Lake in Halifax. They say that fire has shrunk but still remains out of control.
The cause of the fire was related to human activity. It was an open fire. There was nobody in the area when the crews arrived on scene. That makes it impossible to hold the person or people responsible to account. And yeah, that's frustrating to everyone.
I know that many people in the Halifax and surrounding area could see the smoke from the Susie's Lake fire yesterday. And I know that was kind of a real emotional thing. It's very scary. We're all on edge. But thanks to the tireless efforts of the firefighters, so far, there's not been any loss of life or any loss of structure. So I want to thank them again for that. I want to thank our neighbors in New Brunswick for quickly sending air support. We sent support to them the day before. They sent support to us. This is the way these things work. So I do want to thank them for being so responsive. It's going to be a long next few weeks. It's going to be a long stretch here. There's no real rain in the forecast, certainly not in the orders of magnitude that we would need in this province. And so far, we've been dodging bullets.
In the last 24 hours, crews have responded to 17 reports of wildfires, like the Premier mentioned, including Susie Lake. In the past 3 weeks, we've responded to one or more reports every single day. I'm going to give a brief update on the Susie Lake fire and our next steps. Yesterday, we got a call from 911 at 2:24 p.m. about a wildfire in the woods in the vicinity of Susie Lake Crescent. We immediately dispatched crews to the scene alongside Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency Services. At 2:49 p.m., we sent 2 helicopters to the scene to start dropping water and later sent a third. Due to the combination of conditions and the proximity of the fire to structures and people, we called in additional air assets from New Brunswick. 4 802 aircraft from New Brunswick each did a single run to drop fire retardant, return to home, and then return to home because they need to land at their facility to reload. Following them, there was 2 CL-415 aircraft that were able to draw water from Governor's Lake and drop on the fire. They stayed on scene until about 7 p.m. when they had to return New Brunswick to fuel as well. The pilots also needed a break and weren't actually going to be available till later in the day. Department crews stayed on scene until after dark, and Halifax Fire and Emergency stayed overnight to monitor the fire. This morning we had 30 department firefighters on scene at first light, followed by Halifax Fire. Right now we have 2 helicopters at Susie Lake Fire, and we have 2 helicopters working on 2 small but out of control fires at Lake Paul in Kings County. And I should make an update, even as I drove in here today, one of those fires down in Kings County actually is now under control. That's an update within the last 30 minutes or so.
If you're out in a boat in an area near fires and you see an aircraft looking to come down for water, please clear the area so the aircraft can do their work. Take your boat somewhere else. Don't stick around and watch. Please do not get in the way of these water bombers when they're working. The same thing with your drones. I'm sure it would be really exciting and interesting to get some great content of a fire. But if there's a fire in the area, get your drones out of there. Just stay out of the way. Please do not get in the way of these hardworking men and women while they do their work. I know the restrictions that we have in place right now aren't fun, but they're certainly necessary. Due to the dry conditions, we're also now recommending that activities that require heavy machinery, including agriculture and forestry, that they restrict their activities to between 8 p.m. and 10 a.m. if possible. And certainly please restrict those activities between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. at the heat of the day and the heat of the high heat. It's just too dangerous and poses too much of a risk right now. We're also asking those who carry out industrial activities, including farming, to have fire equipment accessible and where possible, even water on the site. I know some people are doing that already. We appreciate that. And to maintain a fire watch 2 hours after operation is completed each day to ensure that there's been no ignitions caused by the operations. We'll reassess constantly, and certainly after the next 24 hours to see if any rain may come. Certainly, we need some significant rain.
Coming up, hot and windy weather conditions in Newfoundland are worsening the province's wildfire situation. And Ottawa is under mounting pressure to make good on its commitments to build more housing. Welcome back. The Kingston wildfire on Newfoundland's Avalon Peninsula is spreading fast, forcing the evacuations of thousands of homes in the area. As the CBC's Karen Pauls reports, hope of relief is quickly dwindling.
This couple and their dog Jazzy are coming for lunch at the evacuation center in Carbonear. But what they need, even more than food, is answers. You don't know if you have a house or not?
No. I haven't got a clue. No news is good news, I guess. I don't know.
They shot this video from their driveway 10 days ago, among 3,000 people forced from their homes the next day because of the growing Kingston fire on Newfoundland's Avalon Peninsula. Now the size of about 10,000 football fields, another 13,000 people nearby on evacuation alert.
We simply cannot afford any further risks.
The Premier now banning the use of off-road vehicles on forested land until Sunday. Fines for breaking the fire ban ranging from $50,000 to $150,000.
I really hope people understand the seriousness of the fire ban.
That's not going over well with this evacuee.
There's a little bit of foolishness. It's ruining for some just good people that go out and obey the laws.
Carbonear's mayor is hearing from residents angry because scarce firefighting resources are being moved to other parts of the province, including the Paddy's Pond fire out of control on the outskirts of St. John's.
It's frustrating, I'm sure, to see a CBN area that had their water bombers and helicopters, and all of a sudden they were gone to fight another fire that had just started up.
Back at the evacuation center, the Salvation Army is supporting evacuees and those on the front lines, making more than 7,000 meals a day.
There is a lot of anxiety about what's going on, people kind of wanting answers.
And with the likelihood of rain later this week decreasing, that anxiety is growing. Karen Pauls, CBC News, Carbonear, Newfoundland.
Meanwhile, officials in St. John's say they're investigating multiple brush fires in the downtown area that they called suspicious. Police are seeking the public's help with their investigation.
There were 5 fires total that we're aware of connected to this investigation. And, with an active investigation, I don't want to get into the weeds or really get into specifics. We want information that's coming to us from witnesses to be unimpacted by anything I share here today. But what we can tell you is that our investigation to this stage has determined that these fires are suspicious in nature.
Local authorities believe one person may be behind these incidents. No injuries or damages were reported. And in another part of our region, 2 wildfires are burning out of control in New Brunswick. The largest one outside Miramichi has grown to more than 1,300 hectares, while another in Irishtown covers 45 hectares and has put hundreds of households on alert. The government says 6 new fires started yesterday, and there are now 16 active fires in the province. So far, no structures have been lost. A burn ban remains in effect for the entire province. As we told you earlier, Air Canada says it will begin canceling flights tomorrow. Its 10,000 flight attendants could go on strike as early as Saturday. The CBC's Marina von Stackelberg has more on what happens next in the labor dispute and what this all means for passengers who are set to catch a plane in the coming days.
This country's largest airline might be completely grounded by the weekend. That's when Air Canada's flight attendants are set to walk off the job. 130,000 customers could be affected every single day.
It's very impactful. There's so many flights. Like the choices that I know most times we're looking at our flights to go home, it's Air Canada.
It's left some travelers frantically booking with other airlines.
My schedule has been changed 3 times, so I've canceled the flight and booked with Porter. We booked flights back home with WestJet, just in case.
And did you have to pay for that out of pocket?
Yes, we did.
By law, Air Canada will have to issue refunds if it cancels your flight, unless it can get you on another plane with another airline.
It is their obligation to find another carrier at their expense to fly me to my next destination within 48 hours of my original arrival.
Air Canada says it's making arrangements with other airlines, but warns a new flight might not be available right away. Because of the busy travel season, many seats are already full. The union says the 2 sides are at an impasse.
Our goal is not to strike or disrupt travel plans. Our goal is to be on board the airplane, but be fairly compensated while we're doing it. This is part of the process. It is unfortunate to the traveling public.
The union says Air Canada flight attendants aren't paid for the work they do before boarding, like helping passengers or doing safety checks. The company says it's offering a 38% wage increase over 4 years, making its flight attendants the best paid in the country.
Air Canada now wants the federal government to step in and force binding arbitration to stop the strike from happening. The jobs minister won't say if she'll do that. She says mediators continue to help with negotiations and says both sides should remain at the bargaining table. Marina von Stackelberg, CBC News, Ottawa.
New data suggests there are fewer housing projects on the horizon despite a federal push to get more built. The Liberals campaigned in part on easing the housing crisis. The CBC's Kate McKenna brings us more on where those promises stand.
A key priority for Mark Carney during the election, building more homes.
There simply aren't enough homes, so housing is just too expensive. Now, it doesn't have to be this way.
But new data shows the federal government has a long way to go. In May and June, residential construction intentions dropped 15%.
Most of the decline is in lower mainland BC and the GTA. And what's happened in those two environments is that home prices and rents have fallen.
Experts say it all comes down to math.
We've reached a point at which the costs are so high relative to prices, it's just no longer economically viable to build most forms of housing.
These figures come after Ontario reported it is not on track to meet its housing target of 1.5 million homes built by 2031. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says they want to get more built, but municipalities play a big role.
If you want to build, you will build. And then there's some, I won't name names, they're NIMBYs. And they're the first to get out there and say, we need more homes. Oh, by the way, you aren't building in our backyard, you aren't building in our neighborhood.
The federal housing minister wasn't available for an interview, but Prime Minister Mark Carney has committed to build nearly 500,000 homes annually and slash development fees.
We need to see some response here to get the developers off the sideline and the shovels in the ground.
The Conservatives say Ottawa's previous efforts to move the needle, including giving money to cities to fast-track development, didn't work.
That program was an abject failure. I mean, they gave millions of dollars to cities that then turned around and increased their costs for building.
This week, Ottawa announced consultations on its plan to create a new housing crown corporation. But with targets slipping and costs climbing, the federal government is under mounting pressure to make good on its commitments. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
A British Columbia man who went blind 2 decades ago has regained his sight after undergoing a first-in-Canada eye surgery. And as Yasmin Renea shows us, the procedure required one of his teeth.
Yes, seeing the skyline.
After going blind nearly 21 years ago, this is the moment Brent Chapman discovered he could see again through his tooth.
Looks really healthy. Looks great.
Chapman is one of 3 people who underwent tooth and eye surgery, performed by Dr. Greg Maloney and his team in Vancouver for the first time in Canada.
I feel fantastic. Vision comes back. It's a whole new world.
All 3 patients can now see to different degrees.
To watch them come back into the world it's an incredibly rewarding feeling.
The 2-part surgery, developed in the 1960s, is a last resort for people with severe corneal blindness. It involves removing a patient's tooth, inserting a plastic lens into it, and then stitching the whole thing into the patient's eye socket. Why a tooth? Because they consist of the hardest substances humans produce, making them the ideal casing to bridge the lens. And using part of a patient's own body ensures it won't be rejected. Chapman went blind when he was 13. He's had about 50 procedures done to try and get his vision back.
And we always said to Brent that we would go anywhere, do anything to keep his vision. And here we are.
Chapman says he's now appreciating the little things.
When Dr. Maloney and I made eye contact, we both just burst into tears, and yeah, I hadn't really made eye contact in 20 years.
He's looking forward to spending time with family, traveling and working, not taking anything for granted. Yasmin Renea, CBC News, Vancouver.
Since Canada legalized recreational cannabis in 2018, much has been said about its effect on people's health. Some health professionals say using the drug at a high potency increases the risk of psychosis, and their concern has grown as cannabis has become more potent. Alison Northcott reports.
After 2 years of frequent cannabis use in her early 20s, Bailey Peterson started experiencing troubling symptoms.
It's a couple days of no sleep, sort of manic associated symptoms, and things that were coming to me were like various beliefs and like delusions. It was very scary for my family to witness.
In an article in the Canadian Medical Association Journal, the authors point out cannabis in Canada has become 5 times more potent in the last 2 decades, with higher concentrations of the psychoactive component THC.
With that jump, and when we know that the associations with THC concentration and onset of psychosis or even schizophrenia is higher, it's pretty alarming.
Cannabis-induced psychosis can lead to hallucinations, paranoia, and delusions.
If you're getting exposure to your brain essentially being bathed in these high levels of THC, that's going to act on those receptors in the brain, those cannabinoid receptors that then cause the effect of cannabis.
Many patients recover within 24 hours, but not always. The authors highlight a recent Ontario study that found those who ended up in the ER from cannabis use faced an increased risk of developing schizophrenia. Young men and people with a history of mental disorders such as bipolar disorder, depression, or anxiety are most affected. This psychiatrist sees it often in the psychiatric emergency room.
People are not really aware of the risks. They do not really understand that the potency of THC has increased over the years.
The authors of the CMAJ article say those who experience symptoms should stop using the drug. Peterson was hospitalized for her symptoms and later quit.
I realized that abstinence from cannabis would be the only way.
Experts say Canadians need to know that cannabis has changed and its potency can vary, so they can make informed decisions around using it. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
Good news for fans of Ultimate Fighting. The UFC has sold its broadcast rights to a streaming service. Paramount Plus will now offer content in a way that could be better for fans. But as the CBC's Ali Chiasson reports, there's a catch for Canadians.
Streaming services have been fighting for months to win the broadcast rights to this UFC action. Time's up for ESPN's old contract. Oh, he's got the juke! And for cable's iron grip on sportscasting.
Paramount was rumored and reportedly interested. I don't think anyone necessarily thought they were going to be the ones to land the rights.
It elbowed out other networks like Netflix and Amazon, inking a 7-year deal worth nearly $8 billion.
Every single event will be free of charge if you're a Paramount Plus subscriber, with select events being simulcast on CBS.
Why would Paramount put up that kind of purse? UFC's loyal and growing audience.
Sports is a top of the funnel subscription driver for a lot of these streaming platforms.
Across the 40-something fight nights and marquee events throughout the year, UFC says it reaches about 100 million fans in the US and nearly 950 million worldwide. For Canadian fans, though, the pay-per-view model still stands, for now. The people training at this mixed martial arts gym in Toronto would like Canadian fans to get the same deal.
A lot of family, the kids, they see the UFC there, they like to bring the kids to try to do the MMA.
More interest might mean more students signing up for mixed martial arts classes.
Finally, like basketball, soccer, now this MMA.
That will start to battle the stigma.
Stigma that MMA is a boys' club blood sport.
How did you get into it? I had a friend that started it, and I was going through a rough time, and so they decided to take me and fell in love with it, and then I've been doing it ever since.
The streaming model could come to Canada as international streaming rights are negotiated, and if that happens, it will be one more blow to pay-per-view.
Oh, and he's out!
Ali Chiasson, CBC News, Toronto.
Canada's main stock index finished higher today, helped by strength in consumer cyclicals, while U.S. markets also rose. Here is a look at the numbers as we head to commercial break.
This weather update is brought to you by Access Wellness Nova Scotia. Book your appointment today for free, confidential mental wellness support.
Jay, as we wrap things up here, one last look at the weather forecast, and there is some hope in the future here in terms of weather conditions and as we deal with the wildfires in this province.
Yeah, I don't want to oversell the rain by any stretch. This is not going to help with just the very dry vegetation. I know farmers as well. I've been screaming for rain for not just weeks, going on months now with those dry conditions. This is not going to be enough to alleviate those drought conditions. Some areas where you get the heavier rain, it's going to come all at once with a thunderstorm. And I know for our farmers, that also poses the risk of runoff as well. But any rain right now is a welcome thing. So I don't want to oversell it, but I don't want to be down on the fact that we're getting it. So as we look through the overnight hours tonight, you can see some showers working along the eastern Atlantic coast up into the Cape Breton area, Port Hawkesbury, and then east towards Sydney. You'll see some steadier showers through the overnight hours tonight. Most areas, what you're seeing here is not showers necessarily, but more of that mist and drizzle, which was very beneficial for the Halifax area, for the Susie's Lake fire. They're not the rain that they need, but at least some more dampness and getting that sun off the vegetation. Now, the wind will be pretty brisk into the morning hours. You will see that wind 20 to 30, gusting to 40 for exposed areas. But we will be watching for the cloud cover to increase. There's the cold front. More northern and eastern areas, you have a higher chance of thunderstorms. But late in the day, we see at least some showers building into the Halifax area. And I think that will be beneficial, followed by some not cool, but cooler than it has been temperatures into the weekend. So some fog, possibly some drizzle into the early morning hours tomorrow. Then we'll see the clouds building into the afternoon. Temperatures will be a little on the cooler side tomorrow than what we've been seeing the last few days. 24, 25 by 4 o'clock. I think our daytime high mid-afternoon of around 26, maybe 27 as you get away from the water. But we will be watching for the clouds to increase ahead of that approaching cold front, and that will bring at least some relief from temperatures and a little bit of rain. Not a lot of meaningful relief from the drought conditions, but beggars can't be choosers after the last couple of months, Tom. We'll take what we can get.
Yeah, like you say, it's something at least. Okay, Jay, thanks so much. And with wildfires burning across the region, officials in some impacted communities are advising residents to be prepared to leave at a moment's notice. That means packing a go bag with essentials. The CBC's Daryl Roberts breaks down what you might need to take.
It's been a wildfire season like no other in Newfoundland and Labrador. Thousands of people have been evacuated and thousands more are on alert. If that's you, here's how you can prepare. Officials say you should have supplies that can last at least 72 hours so they can focus on those with the most urgent needs. That's water. 2 liters of water per person per day is recommended. Food. Think non-perishables, canned and dried food. And don't forget a can opener. Your glasses or contacts, your toothbrush, and a deodorant. Your prescriptions and medical equipment. Check now to see if you're low and restock if you can. Take a first aid kit, a flashlight, and extra batteries. Take a sleeping bag and blanket, your phone, don't forget a charger, and a battery-powered radio if you have one. Cash. You might need it if the power goes. And make sure that your vehicle has fuel. Clothes. Remember, you're packing for at least 72 hours. And the weather may be warm now, but it can change quickly, so grab a sweater. And think sturdy footwear. You'll want more than flip-flops. Then there's the paperwork. You'll want a copy of all your personal documents. That's your ID or driver's license and birth certificate, passport, MCP card. And for insurance, you need to know your carrier, their phone number, and your policy and account information. You'll want your banking information too, and your emergency contacts. You should store paper documents in a waterproof bag. If you have kids, diapers, bottles, wipes, more food and water, and something to bring them comfort, like a favorite stuffed toy. If you have a pet, add more water and food, bowls, a leash, and a kennel. Okay, have everything? Now it's time to get the house ready. Take photos of all the rooms in your house in case you need them for insurance. Remove debris from around your house and cut back branches and trees. If you get word that you do need to evacuate, close and lock your windows, turn off your air exchanger and your propane, unplug any electronic appliances, and listen to any other instructions that local officials give you. And after you lock up, don't forget your keys. Daryl Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.
And there you have it, a friendly reminder on being prepared. Well, that is it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.